URLs. Clear all clean URLs. MVC applications are. What do you mean by clear and clean URLs? Very important point it is. Everybody are clear with. I'm sorry. Everybody are clear with ASP.NET URL. How the URL will come in ASP.NET? Do you have any idea? Anytime you observe URL of the ASP.NET? Yeah, let me explain. Observe. Compare with ASP.NET. ASP.NET MVC URLs are clear and clean. What is that? I'll show you practically also. MVC applications are using URLs according to the controller. According to the controller. All MVC are controlled based on file based. In ASP.NET MVC are not file based. All MVC URLs are controller based, not file based. But ASP.NET URLs are file based. What do you mean by controller based? What do you mean by file based? Now I am going to explain. So have you observed ASP.NET URL? You have a ASP.NET web application. That web application contains one web page. The web page name is webform1.aspx. So what will happen in webform1.aspx? Come on. When you run the application in the browser, what you will get? Hello?
In the ASP.NET you are asking or like MVC?
No, I am asking about ASP.NET. You have, because no, you 1 minute. You didn't that
file name.
Yeah, in it. File name.
ASP.NET, like ASPX, like whatever the file page it is located. For example, if it is UI is located in that page, whatever the it will give the extension of that file name with the ASPX or like that.
All MVC URLs are control based, not file based. But ASP.NET URLs are which based? File based. First, we'll try to understand what do you mean by file based, what do you mean by controller based. That we can explain only with the help of development environment. Let me open two applications. Now I'm going to show you two applications. Now let's open Visual Studio.NET. First, I'm going to create ASP.NET web application. New project, ASP.NET web application. Click here. I'm selecting C# web ASP.NET web forms application. I hope everybody are clear about this, how to create ASP.NET web application. Click OK button. Now it is going to create ASP.NET web forms application. Okay. Now for this application, I'm going to add a new web page. That web page name is, let us assume, webform 1. That web page name is, let us assume, webform 1. And after I will create and run this application, I'm going to create ASP.NET MVC application. So there also I will take one web page. Okay, here you try to remember one important point, that is ASP.NET web page extension will be .aspx, but ASP.NET MVC web page extension will be, you can say view extension will be .cshtml. Let me add one web page here. View Solution Explorer and right click and add and new item web form. Click add button. Click add button. Some header H1. Welcome to ASP.NET web forms. Now select web form 1, set as start page. I hope you are clear with this process, because already you are ASP.NET developers. Now build the solution and run the start debugging. Now your browser is going to display it's going to run the ASP.NET application, and browser is going to display the ASP.NET web page. Now you observe this ASP.NET web page is displaying by your browser. In the browser you can see the URL. You can see the URL. This is called file based URL. It is displaying your file name. What is the file name here, Sunil?
The web form like one, like web form one.
So, web form under ASP. Very good. Now, Sunil, is it your first session?
Yes.
You missed the last 2 sessions. Okay.
Yeah,
Collect the
email from he shared the 2 classes.
You are from which location?
I'm from East Coast.
Right. So, did you communicate our team already?
Yeah, I just spoke to that.
Are you in touch with them? Then you collect yesterday and
he already forwarded the 2 classes.
Yes, okay, fine. No, right. Okay, fine. Now I am going to create ASP.NET MVC application. So first time I am showing you how to create ASP.NET MVC application. Later I'll give you the more clarity about various ways of creation. Present to show this concept, I'm explaining one model. Open Visual Studio. Open Visual Studio. New project. C# web ASP.NET MVC web application. Means you can observe that to create ASP.NET application, we are selecting this template. To create ASP.NET MVC application, we are selecting this template. 2 templates are related to web. That's why it is under this category of web. Okay. Now, just your application name. If you want, you can change. Now, I am just writing my application name is my MVC application. Something called new. So my doubt is with that name, some applications already exist. The location you can choose whatever you want. I'm selecting G drive. Now you can click OK button. With this process, it's getting open new ASP.NET MVC project templates. There are various templates we have. Present we are going with basic template. About remaining templates, it's getting discussing next talk session. We are going to discuss all these things. You can observe here web API option also here only, because web API is also following the MVC design pattern. Now here we have some various Razor engines. Let us assume right now it's getting select Razor engine. Various view engines. It will support 2 view engines. About this also you'll get the clarity later. One is ASPX engine. Another one is Razor engine. Let's go with Razor engine only and click OK button. Click OK button. With this process, your new ASP.NET MVC application is going to create. Right. And it is going to open your ASP.NET MVC application development environment. ASP.NET MVC application development environment is going to open. Right. Now we are entered into ASP.NET MVC application development environment. I'm opening the Solution Explorer. It is coming with various folders. Present, I am not going to explain about all these things. This we are going to discuss in the next topic, that is called ASP.NET MVC application development environment topic. There we'll discuss about all the folders. Among all the folders, here you have to understand the important folder called controllers. So actually here you can see models, here you can see views. Okay, so coming to controllers folder, first we need to add our own controller. Right click, add controller. I'm adding my controller. Okay, now here I'm renaming the controller name as home controller. Whatever name you want to give, you can give. click add button. With this process, under controllers folder, home controller.cs file is getting what? Adding. Now your home controller.cs file class file is added. It contains some action methods. Now here it is called index is action method. What is that? We'll discuss in future. But you remember one important point. Controller class file will contain action and non-action methods. Generally we'll call. I told very clearly, controller will not contain any UI logic. Controller will not contain any validation logic. Controller will not contain any data access logic. Controller will contain only controlling logic called execution logic. Okay, forwarding the request to whom and getting the response and forwarding to the browser, like that. Now here you have one action method. What is the name of the action method present? You have, what is the method name, guys? Come on, index. Okay, so for this action method, I am adding one view. View is nothing but web page. Add view. So action method name and view name should be same, and I want to go with different, sir. That is also possible. Present, we will go with one web page view name, that is called index. It will come with extension called .cshtml. You remember this point. It will come with .cshtml. Finally, your view will come with index.cshtml. Click add button. With this process, your view is going to add. Observe this, under views folder, automatically it is showing home. Home is nothing but Babu, it is controller. And here you have controller file, but controller name is home. Under home, for this controller, right now you are added one web page. That web page name is index.cshtml. The hierarchy, whatever you are able to see here, is showing that Babu, index.cshtml view is a part of a controller called home. Right. Now here you can observe you are entered into your .cshtml view page source code. Here I am writing one line code that is called welcome to ASP.NET MVC. Welcome to ASP.NET MVC. Now you are going to run the application. Whenever you are going to run the application, for your application under app start, under app_start, you have root config.cs file. This root config.cs file will decide first initially the request should go to which controller, because your application may contain multiple controllers. Right now we have only one controller. Tomorrow you may have n number of controllers. So what is the default controller? What is the default action method will decide this file. Here you have an attribute called controller equal to home, means controller equal to home means default controller name is home. So we don't require to change right now, because the name also I was given as same home only. Why? Because by default here you will have home. Now if your controller name is emp controller.cs, immediately you have to say controller equal to emp. And the default action method, our action method is index. Here also it is showing index. Right now, due to that reason, this file we don't require to update. So I think so this file is not required to show right now, because there is no modification. Don't get confused. Okay, sometimes over explanation also will lead confusion to the student. Right, so that is the story. Now compile the application. Yeah, again I'm telling you, root config.cs file. Reddy, are you asking about root config.cs, or you are asking from the controller?
Controller, sir. I didn't get that.
Controller onwards, sir. Right. What is that? You are added your selected controller folder and right click, and you said add controller, and it is added one controller file. What is the controller file name?
Controller.cs.
Home controller.cs. This controller.cs file contain one action method. What is action method? Index. Okay. Now don't ask me what is action method, what is non-action method. That is next discussion. Okay. So you remember
Sure.
one important
Sure.
controller will contain action methods. And for action method, I was added view. Whenever you want to add a view, generally you have to select, you have to open the controller, select action method name and keep select, right click, and you have to select add view. Then your view is adding to this particular action method. How it is connecting, that
Okay.
will see. Then when you say add view, it is showing one window. There it is showing the view name is what? Index. You can go with
Yes,
other
sir.
names also. Right now I am going with same method name, same view name. View is nothing but web page. The extension of the web
Yeah.
page will be CSHTML. And I click add button. Due to that reason, under views folder, you have this hierarchy. The hierarchy is showing that this is telling that you have a controller file, that is home controller.cs. Under views folder,
Okay,
it
sir.
is showing you have your controller name is home. Generally, here you have home controller.cs. Every controller file postfix will be controller, but prefix means name of the controller is home only. Home is the name. Controller is normally, suppose you have another controller tomorrow, employee controller.cs means name of the controller is employee. Controller is common. Student controller.cs, customer controller.cs, like that. Here controller name is, what is the name? Home. Under that controller we have one view. What is the new name of the view? Index.cshtml.
CSHTM. Okay, sir.
That view, for that view we have written some code here. What is the code we have given? Some div welcome code. And after that I explained about root config.cs. Frankly, I'm telling you that explanation is not required present if you will give these names. Now build the solution, unnecessary confusion, run the application. Build the solution and run the application. Then your MVC application will getting execute. Here your MVC application is getting executed. You can observe the URL. Do you have any here any view page name is available, like index.cs file is displaying in the URL?
No, no,
No.
sir.
No. This is called,
No, sir.
but in case of here, in case of ASP.NET. Now I am clicking ASP.NET. This URL contain what? File name. This is called file based URLs. And ASP.NET MVC is called, what is this? It's not file based. No web page name, which are all called not file based. URL are controller based URLs. Controller based. The controller is displaying your view. The view name is index.cshtml, but nowhere the view name will visible in the browser. That is called clear or clean URLs in ASP.NET MVC. I hope you are clear. Sir, how this application is getting executing also we can discuss. MVC application. Request will come to your controller. What is the name of the controller? Home. And home is invoking a method called index. Home is invoking a method called index. Index method is forwarding the request to view. That view is what? Index.cshtml. That's why index.cshtml view will display in the browser. Okay, so about that execution process we'll understand later, but right now our concentration is completely on clear or clean URLs. Finally, you can say that MVC URLs are controller based, ASP.NET URLs are file based. Okay, here MVC URLs are called as clear, clean URLs because it contains less number of characters in URL. Due to this feature, SEO will be easy. SEO will be easy. Okay, because of this, SEO stands for search engine optimization. Example for ASP.NET URL, all these things we have given. Here let's